The mysterious letter. The envelope lay on the doorstep, resting there as if it had been carefully placed rather than simply dropped in the usual pile of mail. Anna noticed it the moment she stepped outside to pick up the morning newspaper. The rest of the mail had been pushed through the slot in the door, but this one was separate, set apart as if it wanted to be discovered on its own. It was pale yellow, its corners slightly curled, and there was no return address, just her name written in neat, looping handwriting across the front. Anna Thompson. A chill ran down her spine, not from fear, but from curiosity, a deep and immediate urge to know what was inside. She turned the envelope over in her hands, pressing her fingers against the edges. It was thicker than an ordinary letter, heavier, as if there was more than just a single sheet of paper tucked inside. She glanced around, half expecting to see someone standing at the corner of the street, watching, waiting for her to pick it up. But the road was empty. Just the soft rustling of the trees and the distant bark of a dog somewhere down the block. Slowly, carefully, she slid her finger under the flap and pried it open. A folded sheet of parchment-colored paper emerged, crisp and smooth beneath her touch. The handwriting on it was the same as on the envelope. Elegant, precise, written in deep black ink. Dear Anna, there is something I need to tell you, something important. But I cannot explain everything here. Meet me at the old oak tree in the park at sunset. I promise you, this will change everything. No name? No signature? Nothing to indicate who had written it. Anna read it again, her heart beating faster. The old oak tree. She knew exactly where that was, the enormous tree that stood at the edge of the park, its roots knotted and thick, its branches stretching out like ancient arms. She had spent summers there, reading books in its shade, carving her initials into its bark when she was younger. But who had written this? And what did they mean by, "This will change everything"? She turned the letter over, searching for any other clues, but the back was blank. For a brief moment she considered showing it to her mother, but something held her back. Maybe it was the way the letter felt so personal, like it had been meant for her and only her. Or maybe it was the curiosity gnawing at her, the need to find out for herself. The rest of the day passed in a blur. She tried to focus on her usual routine, eating breakfast, helping her mom with errands, answering texts from friends, but the letter stayed in her pocket, folded neatly, its weight pressing against her every moment. By the time the sky began to darken, painted in hues of orange and purple, Anna could hardly sit still. Slipping on her jacket, she told her mom she was going for a walk and hurried toward the park. The oak tree stood in its usual place, looming and majestic. The park itself was mostly empty now, the evening air cool and quiet. Anna slowed as she approached, scanning the area for any sign of someone waiting. Nothing. She stepped closer, placing a hand against the rough bark, feeling the grooves beneath her fingers. Had this been a joke? A mistake? Had the letter not been meant for her at all? And then a rustling behind her. She spun around, her breath catching. A figure emerged from the shadows, stepping into the fading light. A boy, maybe a year or two older than her, his hair slightly messy, his eyes sharp and filled with something unreadable. "You got my letter," he said. Anna stared, taking a small step back. "Who are you?" He hesitated, as if choosing his words carefully. "My name is Daniel," he said finally, "and I need your help." Her fingers tightened around the letter in her pocket. "With what?" Daniel glanced around, as if checking to make sure they were alone. Then, in a quiet voice, he said, "It's about your grandfather." The world tilted for a second. "My grandfather?" she repeated. "I don't understand. What does he have to do with any of this?" Daniel shifted his weight. "I don't know how much you know about him, but he wasn't just an ordinary man. He was involved in something bigger than most people realize. And before he disappeared, he left behind something important, something I think you're meant to find." Anna's breath came faster now. "My grandfather didn't disappear," she said, her voice almost defensive. "He passed away years ago." Daniel looked at her, his expression unreadable. "That's what they told you," he said simply. Silence stretched between them. The distant chirping of crickets filled the air. Anna's mind raced. This was ridiculous. It had to be. Her grandfather had died when she was 8. She remembered the funeral, quiet sadness in the house afterward. The way her mother had never really spoken about him much since. There was nothing mysterious about it. And yet, the way her mother always changed the subject when his name came up. The locked study in the old family house. The one room that no one ever entered. The way she had always felt deep down that there was something more she wasn't being told. Anna swallowed. "If this is some kind of joke—" "It's not," Daniel interrupted. "I know how it sounds, but I wouldn't have contacted you if it wasn't important." She hesitated. Every part of her wanted to walk away, to tell herself this was nonsense, that she shouldn't be standing here in the dark, listening to a stranger talk about her grandfather as if he were some kind of secret agent. But then she thought about the letter, about how it had made her feel the second she found it, as if something was waiting for her and something she had to uncover. She took a slow breath. "What do you want me to do?" Daniel's shoulders relaxed slightly, as if he hadn't been sure she would believe him at all. "There's a key," he said. "A key your grandfather hid before he, left. I think you're the only one who can find it." Anna's fingers twitched at her sides. A key. A hidden object. A mystery left behind by the man she had thought she knew. And for the first time in her life, she realized maybe she didn't know him at all.